If you clicked on this video, I'm going to assume you're either a video editor, have wanted to create a video, or was thinking about something that has to do with video editing. Now, if that assumption is true, it means at least at one point in your life, you wanted to add a custom animation or asset to one of your videos. Hi guys, I'm Omri from AI Academy, and today I'll be showing you how to create these custom video assets using Midjourney's Video V1 feature. Now, in order to do that, before AI, we had two options: either download one from the internet, paid or free, or you can create your own custom one in Adobe After Effects or similar programs. Now, the downside with creating your own custom animation through Adobe After Effects or a similar program is that it takes a lot of time, and the downside of downloading one from the internet is that it's not as custom as you'd want it to be. But now that we have AI, we've solved both of those problems. With the new Midjourney Video V1, we can create custom video assets and animations in seconds. If you're not familiar with Midjourney, Midjourney is a platform that lets you generate images and videos only by prompting or giving in reference images. They were one of the first image generators to make a big name for themselves in this AI race, and today we'll be using it to generate what we need. So first thing we want to do is open up Midjourney through the link in our description, and this does require a subscription. So for the Midjourney subscription, you can open up the subscription page, and the subscriptions have a couple plans: the basic plan, standard plan, pro plan, and mega plan. Now, for the purpose of this video, the basic plan is just enough. The only reason why I have the standard plan on is because I'm making a lot of videos about Midjourney. With the basic plan, you can get 200 images, general commercial terms, optional credit top-ups, 3 concurrent fast image jobs, 1 concurrent fast video job, and you get to use the editor on uploaded images. Now, with the plan that I have, $30 a month, you get 15 hours of fast generation. This is very useful for videos. You get all the stuff that you get in the basic plan as well, and then you get 3 concurrent fast video jobs compared to 1. Again, for the purpose of this video, just use the basic plan if you don't have a subscription. So now that we have our subscription, let's take a quick look at Midjourney and its capabilities. So we opened up our explore page, and you could see a ton of creations that people made. The capabilities of Midjourney are kind of crazy. A lot of times I look at this page when I want to get inspiration or when I want to create. And speaking of create, let's go to the create page. So the create page has all the stuff that you've created so far with your account. And in order to create things, you have your prompt box up here, and you have your add image box up here. So what you could do is type in your prompts here, and you can add images to these different options that they have. So starting frame is for when you want to start a video with a specific frame. We'll be using this today. Image prompts lets you add an image and use the elements from the image within your prompt. Style references uses a style of an image to reference onto the generated image that you're trying to add. And Omni reference lets you use the person's likeness or the form of an object from an image. So the first thing we want to do is type in an asset that we want, and for the purpose of this video, we'll do a pile of cash, and we want the animation to be cash falling on top of the pile. So what we want to do is we'll type in a pile of cash with green screen background. After we type that in, we press submit, and it generates a picture for us. Now this picture will be used as the base for our effect, and the reason why I'm saying to do it with a green screen is that we can remove it in our editing software later on. Now that we have our 4 generated images, what we could do is scroll through them. As you can see, when I'm scrolling, it actually changes the image right here, so I can switch between images very easily. And let's say we want to use this image. What we want to do now is go to right here to our creation actions, and what we want to do is vary it subtly. So what this does is it gives us similar images with minor changes to this image. So I like it, but this is not my favorite that it could come out as. So what I'm going to do is vary it subtly, and it will create new images. And then after we do that, what we want to do is upscale. So let's wait for it to create a bunch of these images, and then we'll upscale our favorite one. Okay, so let's say this is our favorite one. What we want to do now is just upscale it, and after we upscale, we'll move on to the animation. Perfect. Now we have our upscaled image, and what we want to do now, since this is an obvious animation, so some animations are not as obvious, but since this is a pile of cash, the system will assume that you want it to just have more money falling onto the pile. So what we want to do now is go down here to our animate image settings, and we have a couple options. So what we want to do for this one, since it's automatic, we want to use the low motion instead of the high motion. So low motion animation is basically less sporadic. So like, let's say for example, I take a picture of myself and say animate my hands. Low motion will probably be like something like this, super slow, and then high motion will probably be like all over the place. So since this is a very simple animation, what we want to do now is just click low motion, and it will create 4 different animations for us based on this picture. Perfect. Now we have 4 different animations. So this one is okay. okay. This one, I like it a little bit more because it has money falling onto the pile. See how it does like a little bit of a zoom in. This one's also good. And we have this one as well. I kind of like how the money is not falling at the same exact time on this one. So what we want to do now is just download it right here with this little button. And once we downloaded it, our next step is to open up our editing software. For this purpose, I'm using CapCut because it's free and easy to use, but you can use any editing software. All of them will have this feature. It's very common, but what we want to do is open up our project and then add the new file that we just downloaded onto our project. And as you could see, now we have our video file of the animation. We could play it. You see that the money is falling. What we want to do now is drag it to our timeline. And then once we have it dragged onto our timeline, we can make some edits here. And since we want this animation to be transparent in the background and we just want the money falling, what we can do is just press remove background, and then we want to use a Chroma Key feature. Any editing software that you use will have this Chroma Key feature, but basically what it does is you could pick out a color, and then once you pick out the color, it just removes it. So we picked out this background and it looks like the green down here is a little bit different. So what we want to do now is we want to do another one where we just press this Chroma Key right here. So once we use the color picker to choose the background color, we want to mess around with the intensity to make sure that the entire background is out. So if, as you see, if I lower the intensity, you can still see the background. And if I up it just enough, the background will be gone and we will still have our asset. Now, if I make it a little bit too much, it might get rid of the whole thing. So what we want to do is just find the good balance. In my case, intensity at 23 seems like a good balance. And now what we can do is readjust the size, drag it around to wherever we want it to be at. And now that we have this with a transparent background, we can add whatever we want in the back and have a fully working effect. So for the purpose of this video, I'll just be using a Mr. Beast image. So what we want to do is just drag it to our timeline. And once we have the image in our timeline, we want to put it ahead of the pile of cash. So what we want to do is put the pile of cash above it on our timeline. Let's say we make the image fit to our frame. So we'll drag it out to be like this, and then we'll select our effect and we can drag it to the bottom of the screen. And since we removed the background, then we could see the picture of Mr. Beast through the effect. And let's say we play the effect right now in the video, you could see him through the video. And once we press play, you could see the money falling in and you could still see whatever is behind it. So there you go. That's how you create an effect using Midjourney. And let's do another one just to show you the capabilities. We can do a subscribe button for YouTube. Let's say we want an animation to remind people to subscribe. Also subscribe to this channel. But since Midjourney is not the best with letters, what we want to do is go to ChatGPT and generate an image that says subscribes. So what we'll say is a YouTube button that says subscribe made out of fiery magma on a solid green background. So what we have is these two images. And what we want to do is either copy them or download them. Let's just copy the image. And then what we want to do again is just take the image that we copied, upload it here as the starting frame. So since the image wasn't generated on Midjourney, you could just upload it to here and drag it over to starting frame. And you can either specify what animation you want, but honestly, with a subscribe button animation, if I want a custom one, all of them are pretty much the same. You'll either have some sort of ripple effect or like a little flash. So if the animation you want is obvious, then you don't need to prompt it. You could just press send. But if you want something super custom, then I recommend prompting it. So let's press send and see what animation it comes up with. There we go. Now we have our custom animations for our subscribe button. And as I predicted, it was some sort of like glowing rolling animation, like little flash bubble looking thing. Let's see which one we like the best just by looking at them and scrolling. Not a fan of this one. This one's okay. This one's a little bit trippy. I like this one kind of. Let's see this one. Okay, I like this one the best. So what we want to do now is go up here and download it. And then it's the same exact steps as our last animation. So what we want to do is open up our editing software, add the clip that we got, and what we want to do is upload it to here, to our timeline. Let's actually add it up here above everything on our timeline so we can have it playing with the same time as the cash animation and the Mr. Beast image. And what we want to do now is the same thing, open up the remove background tool, Chroma Key, and then just find the color that we want to remove. In this case, it's this, and we can up the intensity a little bit to get rid of those edges. There we go. And let's scroll through, make sure it's all good and perfect. No background. So we can now resize it, put it up here, and then we can play the video and see what it looks like. There we go. Now we have a little custom animation based on a picture we created and the background is removed. And yeah, there you go. Instead of spending hours in After Effects or trying to find find a very specific animation off the internet, you can create your own custom ones in seconds for very, very, very cheap. It comes out to be like a couple cents for each animation, and you can use it as many times as you want, copyright free, and it's basically yours, and you can make it super custom to your brand and whatever use cases that you need it for. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below what else you want to see from me or the other hosts of AI Academy, and I'll see you in the next video.